What we're going to talk about now is about body contouring. There are two types of body contouring, invasive and non-invasive body contouring. This particular segment will deal with invasive body contouring. Invasive body contouring is essentially liposuction. Liposuction first came about in the late 70s, early 80s, and it was actually invented or discovered, if you will, by a French plastic surgeon who originally used abortion cannulas or abortion suction machines to suck fat out of patients. Well, since those humble beginnings, the procedure has gone on to become one of the most popular procedures performed in plastic surgery, and it's taken on a lot of forms. Traditional liposuction involves the use of a metal cannula or metal tube. This is of varying diameters. You could have thicker ones or thinner ones. Basically, the trend throughout liposuction in all the years that it's been around has been to go to smaller cannulas or smaller tubes because it's easier to get a more even result. The practitioner with a standard cannula will pass it back and forth. That's how that fat is aspirated out. It's hooked up to a vacuum device and aspirated out. A more recent innovation is power-assisted liposuction. Power-assisted liposuction is when the cannula is attached to a handpiece that oscillates. Power-assisted liposuction allows for a greater degree of control. It allows for less fatigue on the surgeon's behalf. And if the surgeon is a little less tired while he's doing the procedure, then obviously I think the results can be better because the surgeon is going to be paying a little bit closer attention to what is going on. Other things that have come into the playing field of liposuction have been ultrasonic assisted liposuction, UAL. There's a current version of it called the Vaser, which sounds kind of high-techy, but it's basically ultrasonic liposuction. And ultrasonic liposuction works. I think it's a fine technology. It's touted as having skin tightening ability, and that's a little bit controversial in the field of body contouring. Another form of body contouring is laser-assisted lipolysis. That's something that's relatively recent. There are several companies that are marketing laser-assisted lipolysis, among them Slim Lipo and my personal favorite, Smart Lipo, which I think is probably the most genius marketing name for a procedure ever. Who would want dumb lipo? I'm going to invent at some point genius lipo because that'll ensure that everybody comes to me. But what the lasers do is basically they pass a thread. In this case it's a 2mm thread. This cannula, just for perspective's sake, is 3mm, so it's a thread that's a little smaller than this. And this thread at the end of it has a laser source where the fat is then melted with the laser, and then the fat is either left to be absorbed secondarily by the body, or you then pass a small tube into the area and suck the fat out. There's no denying laser lipolysis works. The problem, in my opinion, is with a 2mm, a very small little filament, it's hard to do big areas. It's going to take a long time. So a lot of times you're going to have to break the procedure up into multiple procedures because you're not going to get to hips, flanks, abdomen, arms. You're not going to get to all those areas in a single sitting. One of the things that is touted with laser lipolysis is it can be done under local anesthesia. Well, local anesthesia is great for small areas, but once again, you're using it for big areas. The more local anesthesia you have to use, the greater the risks. So that's going to be the subject of a whole other segment at some point. Other liposuction variants that you're going to hear about, if you haven't already heard about them, there's water dissection liposuction, aqua lipo, hydro lipo. They just involve infiltrating solution as the liposuction is happening. I'm not sure that that is going to make the operation any better. It certainly is going to be open to some degree of debate. I've even heard of a liposuction, tickle me liposuction, because apparently the patients report that it tickles a little, and I just can't get past a vision of the tickle me Elmo, and so I can't take tickle liposuction very seriously. until I really see if there's a scientific study that's going to be published that shows that it demonstratedly gives you better results over more traditional treatments like power assisted or even ultrasonic assisted. All of these techniques, they work. You will be able to remove fat. I think the thing that patients need to realize is any surgeon who's emphasizing the technology he or she is using over that surgeon's particular skill or expertise is maybe a case of big whistle, small boat. I mean, you can sit there and say, oh, laser liposuction, but you can get good results with laser liposuction. You can get mediocre results with laser liposuction. You can get good results with power-assisted liposuction. You can get horrible results with power-assisted. It's not so much the technology that should be the selling point for this procedure. It should be the surgeon's experience and expertise.